2023 is finally here, and it's time to scale up your Facebook ads if you're an e-commerce store owner. In this video, I'm going to walk you through what you need to do prior to scaling your campaigns in 2023 in order to achieve maximum results for your e-commerce business. Hey everyone, my name is Victor Stuve. I'm the founder of Markademics, e-commerce advertising agency, where we specialize in creating advanced advertising strategies solely for e-commerce businesses. 2022 was a crazy year. We went through war, we went through inflation, we went through all the uncertainty in the world. COVID was not around anymore. People were back shopping in their physical locations, and now we're facing 2023, and it's a year of do or die. Of course, you shouldn't panic about it. It's absolutely normal for businesses to go through different situations, but it's high time for you to think about how to take advantage of the current situation. What are the trends? What happened in 2022 that's going to define 2023? In the past few years, I had the chance to look over more than 200 different e-commerce businesses. And from what I saw in the past 2 years, everything completely changed. If you're not paying attention to what's going on right now around the world and in the e-commerce world, then you're probably losing your potential at this particular moment. If you're an e-commerce business owner and you're wondering what you should be focusing on this year, for me, there are two separate paths that you can take. Choosing the right way for your business is not so easy. From my experience as an e-commerce store owner and also as an agency owner, what I've seen is that many times it's actually better to focus on your profitability rather than scaling up your customer list. In other times, it's absolutely necessary for you to scale up your customer list. How to identify this? In order for you to identify this, you need to know what's more important for you and your growth in the upcoming season. If you're having a business that's focused on customer retention, I would recommend you to scale up as much as possible right now while the ads are relatively cheap and the platforms are still working relatively okay, because we're just not sure about how 2024 is going to look like. And you might need those customers and customer retention then. Wow, if you're having a one-time purchase business where most of your customers are buying once and they never return to your business again, I would focus on profitability this year so that I can make as much money as possible, so that I can invest it either in more products, either in more businesses, or in anything else that your business needs at this particular time. But let's return to the technical aspect on Facebook. What's still valid in 2023? What are the rules that you should be obeying when you're scaling up your campaigns technically on Facebook? Here's what's happening on the media buying side. If you really want to be scaling up in a way that it's not really dramatic, you want to take it slowly and you just want to increase a little bit of budget so that you don't risk it up, the rule of thumb is to always scale up your ad sets with not more than 20% of a budget every 24 hours. That's your maximum. If you do it with more, then you're risking it up a little bit. If you want to take the high road and you want to still scale up your ads, but you don't want to scale up by 20%, you want to get the full maximum potential, of course, with more risk, then you should be duplicating your ad sets rather than increasing the budget by 50 or 100%. Never, and I mean never, should you be increasing ad sets budgets with more than 20-25%, especially when you're scaling with bigger figures. If you're using more than $100 per ad set or $1,000 per ad set, these are big budgets that are hitting big audiences, and if you're increasing the budgets by 50 or 100%, chances are that you might be destroying your winning ad set. Wow, if you're duplicating it, then you're going to be hitting a completely different segment from that same audience, and Facebook is not going to destroy your results. To make the scaling of your campaigns way simpler, what you can do is to put automated rules to your campaigns and ad sets. What I like to do is create an automated rule where if my ad set is hitting a specific ROAS goal, let's say that my target ROAS is 3 and I'm scaling when I have a 3.5 ROAS, then I will put an automated rule that every 24 hours I want to increase the budgets of this particular ad set if the ROAS has been more than 3.5. If it's not, then the automated rule is just not going to be fired and the budget is going to stay the same. At the same time, I will put an automated rule to descale, because sometimes I need to descale campaigns, and if I see that the ROAS of my ad sets is not just hitting the targets, then I'll just put an automated rule for it to stop or to decrease the budgets. Of course, you should be worrying a little bit about the late attribution that's happening on Facebook. Yet, if your ad sets are attributing a lot of sales, most probably they are getting good sales and you can scale up easily. Another tool that you can be using that Facebook is allowing you to is manual bidding, putting cost caps and bid caps to your ad sets. It's very simple and it's very easy. And if you have a lot of data that has been saturating your pixel, then you might be taking advantage of the manual bidding, the cost caps, where you put a specific target for cost per acquisition that if Facebook is seeing potential for you to grab some more purchases, it will find it and the campaigns are going to work almost on their own. This way you're protecting yourself that you're not going to be overspending on your campaigns, and Facebook is going to be looking for the best purchases as possible. It's not working every single time, so this is my little disclaimer when you're using cost caps and bid caps. If you want to know how we're scaling our campaigns at Markademics and how we're structuring our Facebook ads for e-commerce businesses, then check our videos in the YouTube channel or on the main website, where I'm walking everyone through a specific funnel on how to make the most out of your Facebook ad campaigns for e-commerce businesses. However, if there's one thing that I can recommend you to do in 2023 different than what you've done in the past, is your creative output. Focus on it. And it's very important for you to have a specific strategy on how you're going to be implementing your creatives this year compared to last year. Why am I saying this? When you're starting out your campaigns, when you're scaling up, you need to make sure that you have enough new fresh creatives that you can test around so that you can see the winners and scale them up. You cannot just use a few creatives that worked in 2020, 2021, or even 2022 and just be like, okay, it was a winner, it's gonna work this year as well. No, it's not working like this, especially if you're scaling a lot or your target audience is big. You need to make sure that you're having a great creative output. I'm seeing this so many times. Great brands, worldwide brands, are focusing on just having 5 to 10 different types of creative at the same time. They're not even changing the copies, they're not even changing the angles. They're focusing on, we are here, buy from us. That's not something that's going to be working when you're scaling up. If you want to hit new targets, your creative output should be different. Focus on what your customers want to know prior to buying from you. There are so many psychological things that you can implement in your videos or your creatives in general that people are looking for. I have a fear before I'm buying a certain product. Everyone's trying to sell me something every single day. You should focus more on what you say in your videos and creatives in general prior to trying to selling to me, because I am seeing hundreds of ads every single day. Why should I be choosing you instead of everyone else when your message is, we are here, you should buy? That's happening only if I am in a hurry and I really need to buy something that you are offering at this particular time and moment. People don't have the money anymore to be buying just randomly stuff online all of the time. Not that it's not going to be happening, it's just not going to be happening enough as it was happening prior to COVID, prior to the inflation, prior to all of these things that happened in our lives in the past few years. So one tip that I can give you is your creative output should be completely different. Make sure you have different angles where you're focusing on the different fears and the different questions that people are asking themselves prior to buying from you. Where is your trust? Do you have your product in use? Do you have people commenting on your product? Do you have people that are expressing their experience using your product? Do you have professional photos? Do you have good photo shoots in general? If you're a fashion brand, for example, how are you grabbing the attention? What are you telling them with your photos? Is it just photos on white background, or you're making something way more? Are you just having different gifts with a few products that you're selling in your e-commerce store? Or you're focusing on your mission, you're focusing on what you've created in the past, on the story of your business. These are all extremely important elements for every single business. And if you're not doing this, your competitors will do it and they will take advantage of it and they will scale up while you don't. So if you're serious about scaling up in 2023, prepare more creatives, prepare your automated rules, make sure that you're scaling in the proper way, either for making sure you have more profit or making sure that you have the biggest client base as possible. Focusing on profit is absolutely not wrong. What we did in 2022 was, on many of the brands, we just focused on the profitability. We made less sales, 30, 40, 50% less sales than we did in 2021, but the profit margin was much better. Most of those companies made more money than they did in 2021 in total, which was great because now they have enough money, enough cash flow for them to invest in their business, invest in branding, invest in new products, invest in conquering new markets. It's not always wrong to have less scalability but more profit. It's sometimes even better. See what works for you and your business, and if you need some consultations or you need help with your e-commerce campaigns, drop us a message and we'll help you out. I hope that you really liked this video and you found value in it. If you did, absolutely share it, subscribe to our channel, and stay tuned for more videos from the Markademics channel.